Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to work on stage makeup for dance specifically. The difference between dance stage makeup and theater stage makeup is very minuscule, I think that's how you pronounce it, but very small. It's kind of like theater focuses more on like your character and what your character would wear versus dance is more neutral unless you are portraying a very specific character. In my case, I am not. So I'm going to be doing like basic stage makeup that we do. So for dance, a lot of us start with primer or concealer. I do not own primer, so I will be starting with concealer. I have two different concealers. One's green and one's purple. The green cancels out any redness in your skin, whereas purple cancels out yellow because they're across from the color wheel. So purple often goes on the under eyes, whereas green goes on like cheeks, pimples, the works, the things that people know. So the green I'll start with real quick. Don't mind Discord going off. I have a lot of Discord servers that I am a part of. My green I kind of put all over my face because I'm naturally red in the skin. And then purple I will put under my eyes to try and cancel out any eye bags, really. And then we just kind of blend it out. A lot of people tap, a lot of people rub. It really is up to what you find useful. Something else I do suggest if you are doing stage makeup is washing your brushes beforehand. I have to wash mine this week because our dance show is this week. So, nice, clean. So, base is fairly easy. Of course, next is foundation. A lot of people say you want to go darker than your skin tone, and that is very much true. Don't go too dark, because then it's kind of awkward and weird for everyone involved. So you want to use about a shade darker. I go about a shade and a half-ish darker than my actual skin tone, mainly because I am very, 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 very pale, especially in lighting. So I use, it's like a shade off, really. It's not even that far off, but a little bit darker than my natural skin tone. I actually have two. One's closer to my skin tone than the other. I don't know which one's which right now. After I grab the right one. So this will go on the face. I put it on forehead and then cheeks. And then I have to go in for a second dip. Do my nose and my chin. It's very easy. So it's not the hardest thing to figure out. And then we just blend it all in. Sometimes you do have to go in with more foundation. By the way, I am using a wig cap to hold my hair back. And this is mainly because in the show I will be using a wig. That I don't normally do, but I need longer hair and my hair is not long this year. So I'm using a wig. So I have to do my makeup with the wig cap to account for that. So I am still blending in to cover up any purple or green that may still be lingering on my face. And then we're all complete. You want to make sure day of, I'm not really going to do much here. You want to make sure you blend down the neck. If you don't blend down the neck, you can get shadow, you can get like really weird like differences in your skin. So you just want to make sure that you have it all blended. Just like so. And then from here, majority of the time, I do contour next. Some people do their eyeshadow, then foundation, or like do contour, concealer, like all that before their foundation. It honestly doesn't matter. However you do it, you do it. But next is normally contour. So I take a contour stick, I go on my nose. This is the only thing I use a contour stick for. Unless I really need to get like a clean line on my jaw. So contour stick is used. This is a bronzer. I prefer bronzer on my temple compared to contour. It's a preference. You can use either or. It doesn't matter. So this bronzer stick just goes right on the hairline of the temples. Don't worry if you get anything in your hair because it makes it look more realistic. Thing. And then contour. I use an e.l.f. contour palette. It has 4 different colors: light, a little bit darker, dark, and then a little bit lighter. And then contour brush. I do use just my medium shade on the lighter end on my cheekbones. You want to go from up down. I learned that the hard way because if you go from down up, it will be darker at the base than at the top. Then I take a little bit the darker one, go on my jawline. And this just keeps me getting the right shape to the jawline. And you want to follow your jawbone on this. And you just blend it all in. And make sure you've blended in the cheekbones. And then the nose. And then obviously your temples. The nose takes a little bit longer just to be very, very precise. And then you just blend. I don't use a mirror to blend, mainly because I've learned my facial structure, but you do want to make sure like it's all properly blended in, like so. After contour, I do foundation. Not foundation. I've already done foundation. I do blush. After contour, I do blush. It's just a basic pink blush. I use Wet n Wild. It's a preference, and then a blush brush. Dab, dab, dab. Tap to make sure it's all no excess. And you do want to make your cheeks a little bit pinker or darker than you would naturally to make sure it actually shows up on stage. And then obviously the other side, make them look as even as you possibly can. This takes a few runs for my makeup, but some people do it in one go and it's fine. I grab a little bit on my forehead, nose, and chin just to like not be ink everywhere or just on the chin. And then highlight. You want your highlighter brush, which mine's like buried right now. There it is. And your highlighter. I use a Goldie highlight because it looks better on my skin. You can use a silvery highlight. You can use a bronze highlight. Like, I use a soft gold. Just want to grab a little bit, and then it goes right under the eye on the cheekbone. This will go actually on the cheekbone. And then I take a little bit for above the eyebrow, a little on the nose, below the nose, and then below the lip. And that's all I do for highlight. That covers your base makeup. Base makeup is very soft and light. And then you have to work on the eyelids. Eyes have always been my kryptonite when it comes to makeup. So to do a proper or I guess I could quote proper makeup for dance, you want nude eyeshadow and a like shimmery eyeshadow. For me, that's just been my preference since I was little. My mom preferred me in blues, whereas I preferred to be in neutrals or in fun colors, depending on what I needed. With it being neutral, because of dance, I use anywhere between 4 to 5 brushes. You obviously have your base brush, which mine is currently dirty and needs to be washed, but that's fine. Base brush, a crease brush, a fluffy brush slash brow brush, I guess you could call it. And then this is technically a concealer brush. I use this for anything shimmery. So the first thing I use, I love this palette. I have 2 palettes of it because this one's slowly running out, and I will have to dig into it a little bit into this whole probably. So this is Festival by LA Colors. I love it because it has so many colors and it has all of the neutral shades that I need personally. So I take my base brush, which is just a normal eyeshadow brush. It has a little bit of pink on it, don't mind that. And I dip it into the medium shade of the nudes. This one is actually called Campground. So I dip it into this one. More like I kind of like circle it and then tap it off. And then this will literally just go into the lid of my eye by dabbing. I don't really like rub this one. I dab it. And then I will do it on the other eye. You gotta make sure that anything that kind of like falls from your lids kind of gets incorporated in there somewhere. And then I put that brush away. And then crease brush. Mine is the darker handle. And I go into the tone. So this is my neutral tone. I go one below. And I just take it, again, swirly motion, tap, and then it goes into the crease of the eye, of course. If you don't know where the crease of your eye is, it's where it kind of like folds when you open your eyes. So I like to do it while my eyes are open. And you want it obviously darker in the corner on the outside of your eye than the corner of the inside of your eye. And then you're pretty much good with the crease. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend it with a fluffy brush. Just kind of like rubbing it down, making sure it's all kind of seamless and not, hey! And then I take my lighter handled fluffy brush and I go from my neutral shade that I put on my lids up one. Again, circular, tap. Sometimes I'll mix in like the lighter shade as well, which I do for stage makeup. Tap. And then this goes all over the eye. It kind of is your powder for your eye, kind of, where it just kind of like makes everything blend properly. And you can like blend stuff with this brush as well. It's actually my preference to do so. And then that's all I use Festival for. By the way, Festival you can find in Walmart, but I cannot find this palette that I'm about to use anywhere. Not in Walmart, not in a drugstore, not even online where I think someone originally found it for me. But this is it. It's called Out of This World. And it's a lot of shimmery colors. I use this goldy tone on the lid of my eyes when doing dance makeup. And then it literally just goes on the lid. And it just kind of makes it shimmery for the like stage lights to hit properly. And then I also take the white that's in this palette. It's very small, which is unfortunate for me because I use a lot of white. So I have to go on the very outside of it right now to grab some of it. And then this white goes on the inside of my eye. Makes the inside of the corner pop. And that is eyeshadow completed. Next is my kryptonite eyeliner. I use liquid eyeliner along with, where is it? Along with eyeliner pencils. So I use the liquid on the top of my eye to make your little like normal cat wing, and then I use this on the lower lid, and I will show that in a second. But now, we're going to do this eyeliner wing. I don't do a proper wing, but I still use it. And then after doing the top lid, I use the pencil on the bottom lid. This is a personal preference. Obviously, it's not necessary. And I do it on the waterline to make my eyes a little more defined, especially under stage lighting. And it's completed for that. And then, of course, mascara. I use a mega volume to make it my eyelashes more defined. And then for stage makeup, you have to do the under eye, the lower lash line. Right? And then, again, optional steps. I use brow gel to do my eyebrows because otherwise, because I'm a blonde, they kind of just don't show up under the stage lights. And then you can always powder or what I prefer using setting spray because it doesn't dull your makeup as much. I'll let it dry for a second. And then glasses go on. And then lips. Lips for dance always depends on your choreographer. You can use red, you can use pinks. Some people prefer muted pinks, some people prefer bright reds. So I, this year, am asked to use a red lipstick. So I have this really deep, like, red wine color. And I just put it on the lower lip on my cupid's bow and then it up. And it is completely done. And will be the look for my shows this year, which is already passed technically for you all, but next this week for me. So I hope you all enjoyed this how-to for dance makeup, and I will see you all in the next one.